Module 1, Introduction. So a little bit about me. I grew up on a farm near Blue Mountain, Kansas. We raised Angus cattle and a flock of commercial ewes when I was growing up. I enjoyed working on the farm. I graduated from J. Auckland High School and then attended Fort Scott Community College on a lifestyle judging scholarship. Then I transferred to Kansas State University, competed in the dairy cow judging team. As I completed my bachelor's degree in agriculture education. There at K-State, I met my wife, and we got married after we graduated. Uh, I student taught in Winfield, Kansas, and stayed there for the first 2 years of my career. When my cooperating teacher returned back to his family farm, resigned, and returned back to the family farm, I took his position, and my wife Amanda taught fourth grade there at Winfield. Then we decided to move to Osawatomie, which is my wife's hometown, where she began teaching fifth grade at Osawatomie Elementary. And I began teaching agriculture education at Central Heights, and I've been there now for 5 years, so I'm completing year 7 right now. It's a small school in the middle of the country, just south of Ottawa. It's in between 4 towns. It was consolidated in the 70s, the 60s. In August of this year, my wife and I welcomed our first child into our family, a girl named Elliot, who's awesome and a lot of fun. In my spare time, I like to waterfowl hunt and upland hunt and train my German Shorthair. Occasionally, I like to fish. I like to travel and spend time with my family. Here are some pictures of all of that right here. We got my dog Rookie. This is my daughter Elliot. Then we got some vacations me and my wife have gone on, and there's my high school. Comes to critical reflection on the process that your school and or district uses to analyze and use data to inform instructional decisions. We do this when selecting new curriculum on a 5 to 8 year cycle, but it's done very departmentally. Me and the other ag teacher at Central Heights, when we picked new curriculum and new textbooks, we went through kind of the data on what kids are needing and along those lines. But it's not necessarily school-wide on that. We look at standardized testing at the beginning of the school year, especially this year, where we looked at where we excelled as far as standardized tests and where we struggled. We celebrated the spots that we excelled at and kind of came up with a plan of improve the spots that we were maybe not so proud of. And that has kind of been a driving force on some of the professional developments or the in-services we've had this year. A lot of them have related to the reading side of things and improving reading comprehension. My administrators also use data to monitor progress on some of their school improvement goals. They're in their second year of being administrators at our school, and prior to them coming to Central Heights, some problems that we had was kids, the ineligibility list would get way out of hand and be super long, and so they kind of keep data on repeat offenders and how many kids compared to last year are on ineligibility list in the month of March or whatever it may be, and they're constantly trying to improve that, trying to encourage kids to keep their grades up. The other thing that was a big problem that when they came in was chronic absenteeism, and something that we've struggled with a lot is truancy and just kids missing school. And that data is really easy to keep track of for them, and it has improved over the last couple years. But we still have some of those kids that kind of push the envelope a little bit too much. There's probably others that I'm not fully aware of on data and how it's used in my school. My own personal knowledge of how to use data to make to inform your daily instructional decisions. When I think of data, I typically think of standardized testing and state testing. And because my content area doesn't have a standardized test, I feel relatively inexperienced with reviewing this kind of data. this past fall when we were challenged to do that, it actually was pretty difficult. Within my classroom, though, I use testing data to evaluate my teaching of objectives within my units. I usually have a variety of questions related to each objective that I had while teaching the unit, and that tells kind of where maybe I struggled on teaching them. What spots they were able to pick up really well and what spots they were not. Hopefully, continually improve. I know there are plenty of other examples of data, and that as collected within a school. My current teaching position doesn't really give me much opportunity to experience working with any of that data collection. I know earlier I was also asked to tell about goals, and I kind of bypassed that spot. Goals for me, first of all, my goal of getting my master's degree is kind of for two reasons. Not going to lie, the first reason was to increase my uh, or to move over on some salary columns as a teacher, and then further down the road, possibly use it to be an administrator. Not looking to do that in any time soon, but maybe in a 10-year plan of transitioning to be working in administration. I look forward to a great quarter. Thank you.